Oh my gosh, I am about to tell y'all something that my therapist told me that saved my life today. My therapist told me a long time ago, maybe like in January of this year, she was like, hey, Shade, stop saying emotions that you don't feel. Stop saying that you're sad and you're angry, because 9 times out of 10, you're not sad and you're not angry. I said, I will start doing this. I'm talking to my best friend. We're on the phone. I'm at work. I'm talking to her and I'm like, you know what? Like, I just can't believe like he did this. I'm trying to describe what I feel. And I was like, man, I'm just so sad. So I explained to her, I'm like, hey, my therapist told me to stop doing this. So let's try to figure out exactly what's going on here. Bro, it blew my mind. So I'm like, okay, friend, I'm gonna throw out like scenarios and situations of how I feel and like what's going on. And we're gonna try to come together and figure out exactly how I feel about the situation, right? So remember, I started as sad, right? And I said, okay, this is what I feel like. I couldn't think of the words. I said, you know what? I feel bested. I feel bested. I feel like you bested me. I said, you know what? It's that emotion that you get when you feel like somebody playing in your face. I said, friend, I don't know how to describe that. I think it's embarrassment. She's on Google with it. Like I said, I'm at work, so I'm on the phone. And so she's on Google with it. So she was like, friend, hear me out. You might not like what I'm about to say, but just let me finish. I said, all right, cool. So she was like, fam, I think you dumbfounded. Hold on, let me get y'all the definition of dumbfounded, because I let her speak. Because I was like, dumbfounded, I don't really know. She said, hey, let me give you the definition. It was like astonished. It was like you're in shock, like you just can't believe this is happening. And I said, yeah, I feel that way. But I'm going to tell you right now, that ain't it. At this point, we're on the phone for we're doing this back and forth game for maybe 35 minutes straight. I kid you not. She's such a good friend, because what we came up with is crazy. She asked me, she said, hey, you may feel humiliated. I said, what? No, I ain't humiliated. I said, but just for kicks, give me the definition. Damn, I am humiliated. All right, I finally got to pull up. So I said, give me the definition. She said, to make someone feel ashamed and foolish by injuring their dignity and self-respect, especially publicly. And then she was like, and a synonym is like mortify, like embarrassment, like shame. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's it. Like, we figured it out. And this is the important part about me thinking that it made me sad, y'all. I would respond back as a person who thought that they were sad. But see, the difference here is, you know how I feel about humiliation? I feel a little angry. I feel like you're playing in my face. I feel like I'm a joke to you. So I'm gonna respond like you treated me like a joke, because now I know. Furthermore, she said the reason that we do this because we feel uncomfortable with certain emotions, right? Okay, for an example, when she said humiliated, I was taken aback. But I said, you know what? Go ahead and give me the definition anyway, right? But when she said humiliated, I turned my face up. She said that you have to get comfortable with emotions that you're not comfortable with. That's the only way you're gonna know how you feel. And how you feel is a direct indication of how you're going to react. Because if I thought I was sad, I would have been like, you just hurt me and you made me feel